my layman's point of view, what do you think?
Yeah, the first drive we were great. We hit the big run, that we fumbled on. I thought after that drive we kind of slowed down a little bit, had some problems being consistent. We were kind of hit and miss. We kind of took that into halftime. I thought we were better in the second half, but besides the first drive of the game, which was finally a hot start, which we hadn't had, and then we kind of slowed down a little bit and got it going again.
How do you? I mean, you lost a left guard. Now you lose a right guard. How do you think that line's adjusting from what you've seen in practice this week?
They've been very good about just kind of the next man up mentality, and they've done a nice job of preparing. It's rare that you're going to go through a season and not have some bumps and bruises, and so you've got to have guys ready to play. I think Corey and Sam have filled in nicely for Tanner and DJ. They've done a nice job of continuing to work and being ready to play, and so I think that's shown as they've gotten into the game. We haven't really missed a beat.
Is there anything in particular that Corey does well that you can identify in that position?
Well, he's got a lot of toughness in there, and that guard position. There's a lot of it's tight quarters, so you have to be ready to play, and you've got to be physical in there. I think he's shown that.
The depth at guard. Do you know what that picture looks like? I mean, is Bo Wilson a candidate to play this week?
He is in the mix. We are looking at a lot of different options, but we're trying to kind of sort that out right now and give it another day.
Do you have an idea who some preferences are?
Corey's been practicing pretty well and playing in there. That position, we could move some guys around. Cole Conrad can be in the mix with that. And, of course, Sam's been a guard. He can play either side, but he's been playing left for us. So we've got some options there.
Hey, when you look at the film of your quarterback, your position, what are you looking for? I mean, what exactly were you looking for from Tommy the other night?
I think just continuing to be consistent, both decision making. Accuracy is always an issue. Making sure that we're putting the ball in the right place, but ultimately making good decisions. And for the most part, he's done that. He's cut down the turnovers, which has been a key for us. And a lot of that is in the passing game decisions. So if we can continue with that, I think that's the number one thing we're looking for, is making sure he's the last guy with the ball in his hands. So, when we're trying to make a good decision about a play, he's got to help us be right.
Do you feel like Mike talked about it after the game a little bit, that you found kind of a sweet spot in that quarterback run game with how much you're running him?
Yeah, it kind of depends on the defense and how they're defending it. He's made some runs on his own, frankly.
What do you mean?
He's turned a 5-yard gain into 15 because he's broken a tackle, or we have a safety that's a problem, and we're saying, well, that 5-yard gain would be great here, and he made it 15 because he ran him over or broke a tackle. So he's made some nice plays, but we feel like we've got a good mixture of the ways we can attack defense with our running game, and including the quarterback runs.
I think you're going to have Keith on the sideline for the first time this season on Saturday. What does he bring just with the game day interactions with players?
Yeah, I think the energy and really a good sounding board for technique and reminders. Just a comfort of having a guy there to help you out through the game. I think that'll be good for the players. I think Hardy did a wonderful job filling in, and we'll still have him. So I think we're just going to have another set of eyes that will help us, and a guy that brings a lot of energy.
I know it's kind of a tough question, but is Tommy doing about what you expected to this point? Do you expect more? Do you expect less?
I expected better football from him, coming into the season, and I think he's shown that. I wouldn't say he's been below expectations, and I'm not, and I'm trying to be realistic too. I think that he is working every day, and every game he's improved. So I think it's about what we expected, and I think it's been good, solid play. I think he could play better, but I don't think he's playing under any expectations at all.
Yeah. Coach, did you look at the tape at all from last year's Illinois game?
No, I haven't. It's a new staff and a new defense, so I haven't spent much time on it. We really try to base, kind of our attack on what we're seeing from a new staff from this year. Normally I would. A lot of times we would use the game in the breakdown, but with a whole new defensive staff, new head coach, the whole deal, we don't spend much time on it.
So what are you seeing from this year's Illinois team?
I think an improved defensive line, and they were good last year. Both their DNs, 91 and 6, are speed rush guys that give you a lot of problems. They're big and strong inside in the D tackles. They've got a linebacker that was all Pac-12, whose dad's the D coordinator. He's a really good player. They play a lot of man coverage. They'll change it up with some cover two. So they give you different looks that way. Do a nice job of disguising the secondary. But our biggest challenge will be blocking the defensive line.
Is there any hallmark to a Lovie Smith type defense? Any commonality?
Well, he's been a pretty influential in that Tampa 2 defense, and you see some of that along with some man coverage. And I think he's had outstanding defenses wherever he's been. So being a defensive head coach, I'm sure he's got his fingerprints all over it, and you see that in some of the things they do. But I think he's really got some defensive ends that are scary, and when you have that, and you don't have to run a lot of pressure to get pressure on the quarterback, you can do some more things in the back end.
Scary.
Yeah. Yes. I think.
Athleticism?
Yeah. They've got a guy that's a tackle for loss leader. Both 6 and 91 are tough to block, and they're really fast off the edge. They run around tackles in all 3 games and get sacked. So we're going to have to make sure we do a good job of blocking them.
That being said, they've struggled against the run. I think
Yeah.
Michigan's had 300-some yards on them.
Yeah.
Is that kind of more incentive to play a little power football, the fact to keep them out of your backfield?
Yeah, sometimes those speed rushers, they are really good on you on 3rd and long, and that's where we got to really get out of that situation, be able to earn some yards on 1st and 2nd down and stay out of 3rd and long, and limit those speed rushers' ability to rush the passers. So I think we have to do a good job of being able to sustain the blocks and handle them in the run game.
Danny, Brendan Riley said he felt good with that hamstring. Were you guys a little worried when that happened that could be something that carried?
Yeah, sometimes those linger, but I think he had good rehab and felt good about getting in there and playing. We made sure that we felt good enough about him being healthy, and then we didn't overdo him either. We didn't play him in every personnel group, so we gave him a chance to ease himself kind of back into the games.
In retrospect, how was it that game? Was that the...
Well, yeah, I don't think he was totally 100%. I think that if he plays and does it again, you're out for even longer. So I think it's just wise to make sure he's 100% feeling good.